Jack is working on a KWL chart, discussing what he knows about a long way down, and then he'll fill in what he wonders will happen in a long way down, and then lastly, what he learned in the end of the chapters that we're going to read today. Called Say Something. So in Say Something, we're just going to either identify an unfamiliar vocabulary term, make a prediction, ask a question, clarify something that we misunderstood, make a connection to something we've read before, right? And then make a comment on that, or make a comment in general, right? And if we aren't able to do that, then we'll just need to reread it, right? Because that means that we're not comprehending what we're reading. I think in this case, remember keeping in mind those things that you've done with your, what you know already with your KWL chart, right? So you say that what you know is what? What do you know? What are these different bullet points saying?
The main character. Distant.
Mm-hmm.
Distant relative at a reunion. But he said, showing the back of his t-shirt again.
So we're just going to pause really right here as we keep going, because you've got some more of this reading going on here. Make sure that you're reading right. Remember, when it's italicized like that, that you want to read it with the expression of the person who would be saying those words, and paying close attention to the punctuation. So we've got, the man turned around. I know you. Buck flashed his choppy grin. Your name, Frick, right? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so just making sure you're reading like that. Go ahead.
I asked Buck how he knew him, what his connection was to me, what he was doing in this spooky ass elevator.
All right, so I'm gonna pause right there. So he's asking a question, right? What's the question that he's asking? He's trying to figure out
who is Frick.
Who's Frick?
To Buck.
Who's Frick to Buck,
mm-hmm.
right? So kind of what we want to do here, we want to say something, right? You want to kind of make a prediction. So who do you think Frick is?
Probably a close friend of Buck.
A close friend of Buck's? And kind of walk me through the thinking as to why you think Frick is a close friend of Buck's.
Well, like he said, see my back of my shirt in a few pages before. Also, when Buck asked him, do I know you?
Mm-hmm.
He said, only people who know me know me.
Okay. So because of the previous statement of him saying in your previous reading, only people who know me, you're thinking, oh, he must know him then. Mm-hmm. Okay.
He said, this is the man who murdered me.
So who is he?
The man that murdered him.
The man that murdered who?
Buck.
What do you think about that?
Wasn't thinking about that.
You were that was out of the realm,
mm-hmm.
right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, keep going.
I remember the cops banging on our door to question him, to tell him they heard he was close to James. That was the first time I heard Buck's real name, and to ask him if he knew who might have done it, killed him, shot him twice in the stomach in the street. Sean.
So pause right there, right? Let's do a little say something right now. So I have to say, for me personally, I'm thinking right here about the rules. Remember the rules from earlier? Mm-hmm. What would the rules say are gonna have to happen here?
Revenge.
Revenge gotta happen.
The only question I really have is like, why they close friends even though he shot him?
So you're wondering who's close friends?
Buck and Frick.
Even though he ended up getting
shot by Frick.
And get you to kind of introduce you to some of these words that you're going to see as you're reading. And hopefully, since you're seeing them beforehand, you will maybe not stumble on them, or when you come to them, that you'll understand them a little bit better. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
So the first word is huff. Can you say?
Huff.
Huff means to blow out loudly. Huff. Huff means to
Blow out loudly.
huff.
Huff.
Cocooning. So where did we leave off?
We left off when there was talked about the revenge and how that once they killed Buck, dude that killed Buck, Sean killed the dude that killed Buck, and guessing whoever messed with the Dark Sons. He messed with, killed him. The person that killed Sean must be with the Dark Sons.
You know, the thinking that I've got going on, honestly, is I'm with you. I think that this is going to be Sean getting on the elevator, and I think that Sean is not going to try and convince him to not participate in the rules, because so far it seems like they have a history in their family of abiding by the rules. So this would be a break in tradition, really. That
Sean turned back towards me, eyes dull from death by shining from tears. Finally spoke to me, just 2 words, like a joke he'd been saving.
What do you think is going to happen in the rest of the story?
The rest of the story, he probably, right now, I don't really know right now. Because Sean didn't say nothing. So I don't know if he's going to do it or he's not going to do it.
So right now, you don't even know.
It depends on what Sean says, these 2 words he's about to say.
So, okay, all right. So you're depending on what your prediction is going to be for the rest of the story based on what the next 2 words that Sean says is going to determine that, okay?
You coming. Right there. He talking about you coming. Everybody else dead. So he talking about there's a place for you, basically, and you do this.
So, okay. So you're saying, is he coming to join them as the ghost on the elevator? Okay. And what's your reasoning for thinking that?
Because, like, everybody else went off except Sean, and he turned back. And basically, he's about to go out of the elevator to kill Reyes and stuff. And Sean talking about you coming, basically. So I'm just guessing that it means that talking about you coming where we going.
Let's see what happens in the rest of the story.
Is that the rest of the story?
That's it.
Wait. Word.
Okay, what are your thoughts? That's it. You thought there was more, but that's it.
Yes. Why would he do this?
Why would who do this?
I really want to know what happened.
So who are you, when you say, why would he do this, who are you thinking about?
The author.
Why did the author do this? Because you really want to know, don't you?
Yes, ma'am.
So what does this mean for you as the reader?
That we get to think of the end of the story.
Yeah. You don't seem like you like that very much.
No, I don't.
Cliffhanger, eh?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess you got a lot of thoughts to be writing Jason Reynolds now, don't you? That's great. Now you're just going to read over your letter to the author, Jason Reynolds, and see, now that we have finished the book Long Way Down, what are the thoughts that you still have about the book, and then questions that you just want to ask him, keeping in mind that interview from Trevor Noah and the questions that Trevor Noah asked him and how he led that interview, and the things that you would love to ask Jason Reynolds. And if he was to get this letter and respond to you, what were the questions that you would want to have asked? Got two options for you. You can summarize in the sense of from Will's perspective, or you can summarize and that's kind of, we'll chronicle a little bit of the whole book, but mainly we're going to focus in on that second chapter. Or you can summarize from the character that has entered in the second chapter, which is Sean. So which one would you like? Somebody?
Will.
Will? Okay. So from Will's perspective, let's do the somebody wanted but so then. And then we're going to summarize what that is, just to kind of make sure that you're thinking about the detail. So keep in mind that you want to be very, very detail oriented in this. Mm-hmm. Okay, especially since it's the end of the book and we just finished it, you should have lots of details to refer back to. Ready?
Yes.
You've got Will wants revenge for Riggs killing his brother Sean, but he's not ready to kill Riggs like the other people in his family did. So I guess what are you meaning by did?
Like they got revenge on other people.
On other people, okay. And the people he knew that was killed coming into the elevator. So what do you mean by that exactly?
Like they come in the elevator, talking to him stuff, talking about what they did.
Mm-hmm. So people coming into the elevator as ghosts are slowing down the process, right? Mm-hmm. So you want to make sure you have that detail. You know what I mean? So the solution. So how is he gonna remedy this problem?
Basically, try to act hard. Also, tell them his rules. I guess.
Okay.
Fan would be his brother stepping in the elevator.
Okay. Okay. So All American Boys. We're gonna begin that for the first time today. So what we're going to do is we're gonna use this as a little tracker to kind of guide us on where we are in the book. So we're reading those lines and that we're not getting distracted by what's to come. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And try to get through that and then move that accordingly. And then we're gonna do a little echo reading. I'm gonna read and then you're gonna read the same thing, and I'm gonna read and then you're gonna read. And I'm gonna talk about, as I'm reading, what I'm reading and how I'm reading it and how I'm paying attention to those capitalized letters, punctuation, the grammatical changes, the quotations and things like that, and how my voice is changing and my pace is changing because of that. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Exclamation points, you got to read with what?
Excitement.
Excitement. So, your left, your left, your left, and there's a dash there, right? So you kind of got to pause. Your left, right, left, right? But you got to make sure that you're still reading it how?
Excitement.
Because what do you see there?
Exclamation point.
All right, and then your left, left, and then because it's italicized, right, we got to kind of think that even though it's not in quotations, that someone else maybe other than the narrator is speaking these words. Does that make kind of sense? Rashad.
Rashad.
The main character's name is?
Rashad.
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 His name is?
Rashad.
Wonderful. Your left. Your left. Your left. Right. Left. Your left. Your left. Your left. Right. Left. Yeah. I left. Left.
Your left. Your left. Your left, right, left. Your left. Your left. Your left, right, left. Yeah. I left. Left. That white school.